What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Danny the Bull, back with another live stream here a couple days before Christmas Eve. And always a lot to talk about. Going to talk about the overall crypto market. Going to talk about everyone's favorite meme coin of the moment, COQ. I don't want to get turned into, Javier Torres has been posting me saying the word on Twitter, turning me into a bit of a meme. Going to talk about alts that I DCA'd into this week, along with two new ones that I started positions in that I like. And I'm going to talk some OMI for the OMI homies. David Yu yesterday was on Meta Mona's channel, did a live interview, and I'm going to touch on some of that. So as always, there is a lot to talk about. Be active in the chat. I'll answer your questions. I'll always, the format. I'll talk, stop, jump in the chat, answer some of your questions. I love the interaction. So let's see who we got in the house thus far. Justin, what's good, Justin? Dan O in the house said he's keeping a bag of OMI, but otherwise putting VV Akomi into the rearview mirror. If they become what we all want, I'm convinced it will take a minimum of an additional 3 years. So always good to diversify the bag and not. One of the things that I think I learned specifically, and I think a lot of people have learned is, after you spend some time in crypto, is you don't marry your altcoins. And it's always good to diversify your bag. Don't limit yourself to just one play, because there are many fish in the sea, and many of them have done very well for us over the last couple of months. Good to see almost everyone start to kind of stare away from OMI. And for me, I'm still in on OMI and I still cover OMI. However, there is so much out there, and it is absolute opportunity cost not to pay attention to all of these other projects. Some that I've only been in for a couple months that have already given me 4, 5, 6x returns. Miri, I've been in since before last spring, has given me something like a 7 or 8x return. So many good projects out there, and we are all in the right place at the right time, because opportunities like this in crypto, they've been coming around once every 4 years, but who knows how many more opportunities like this there will be as adoption really kicks in. Eventually, they're going to be diminishing returns on these cycles as the, total market cap of this whole asset class gets bloated, which is bound to happen. So the point is, take advantage of the time and place that we're in. Always, practice proper risk management. And, I think that we are in a very, very good position to make a lot of money over the next 2 years. NFT Hero, yes, sir. Got my Christmas hat on. Getting in the holiday spirit. It's crazy how fast it's come. What's good, Marcus? No FUD tonight. Yeah, man. So I'm going to talk about David. I'm giving everyone a chance to come. And we got 30 people up in here already. I will give people an opportunity to get in before I get into the OMI stuff. So I'll talk about overall market stuff. Then I'll talk about the OMI stuff, and then I'm going to get into the altcoins. And as always, again, mix in your questions, etc. What's good, Slavs in the house? Rafael Garcia, when VVverse? Any news? We know that those pseudo invites went out to people. A bunch of people got invitations to the VVverse, but they were then reneged. They went out prematurely. Now, those are the people that are next in line. So I guess it's soon for the next batch of people. But as of yet, No new news. And that was kind of a letdown, I'm sure. Bit of a beard and mustache. Yeah. This is it, man. I'm putting on some winter weight, you know. This is it's a new look, a new me for 2024. Ethan, welcome. Cool Mo in the house. What's good? Yeah, I will be giving you my analysis on that stuff. Socket Kopi Bull gave a nice gift. I still think Omi will hit 3 cents. Kopi's, I last I checked, I want to say Cornucopia has hit like a $50 million market cap, which is quite nice. Playable games, very nice. I DCA'd more into that. And yes, still possible that Omi can hit 3 cents, but things have to go right. Omi has a lot of YouTubers. It would be most fun if Omi hit it out of the park. Yeah, it would be amazing. I would love it. The VV party in the city in Manhattan a couple of months ago was dope to meet up with people. And I met up with Cool Mo was there, and a bunch of other people were there. And the vibe was super dope and cool. And I can't imagine what that would be like with a successful Omi token. But time will tell. I really want to talk about that exchange stuff. Again, I'm going to give people an opportunity to get in. Pixel in the house. Santa Danny in the house. I'm bringing a Santa rally. I think we're looking good. The market's looking good. And I got the Ric Flair drip. Woo! Your boy's got the Ric Flair drip on. So what are we at? 44K on Bitcoin, Solana on an absolute tear. And everyone knows, if you're following the channel, that I've been on Solana accumulating during the bear market. Every single week I would buy Solana, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and ADA. Those are my 4 buys throughout the bear market. And Solana has just been, it's now at, I think I want to say a 12x from its low of $8, which is absolutely crazy. It's paid off very well. It allows me, if I want to take profits and, buy smaller coins, that gives me that opportunity. And Sol has been an absolute beast so far. And we're not even at the halving yet. So loving Solana. Ethan asks, Danny, when you swap on Phantom Wallet trying to buy the small cap meme coins, do you usually keep Sol in your wallet to swap? Yeah, you can swap either Solana or USDT for those meme coins. However, you need a little Sol for the gas fees, right? It's not expensive, but you need a little Solana for the gas fees. But you can swap Solana or you can swap USDT. Either one. Oh, Raphael, appreciate you. Oh, you got the Eddie Guerrero thumbnail there. Love your content. Thank you, Tip. Appreciate you, Raphael. Thank you for the tip. Love your Eddie Guerrero. What is that? Thumbnail. Not thumbnail. PFP, profile pic. Kumo working on that dad bod. Yes, absolutely, man. This is the season to get those dad bods out. 10 out of 10 Christmas jumper. Yeah. What we drinking? 2025 Normie Tears. There were so many people who said, don't buy alts. Don't buy alts until after the halving. Wait for lower. And a lot of people got sidelined waiting for lower. And Solana is one example of something that has done tremendously well. And that's just one of many examples when you get into those small caps that have done really well. And, I've been adamant about a DCA strategy. I didn't get heavy into the small alts I dabbled in the spring and summer. I ratcheted up in August, and then I really started buying September, October. So in hindsight, I would have liked to have accumulated more of the micro caps earlier, but I have no regrets DCAing. And a lot of people got sidelined, waiting for lower or waiting for after the halving. And now we're at a point where people are waiting for a big dump in Bitcoin. And it could very well happen in January. We could see the ETF get approved. All those ETFs get approved, which looks like it's going to happen, right? There was just a meeting with the SEC, NASDAQ, and, all of those ETF guys. We have the commercials coming out. We've seen glimpses of commercials now for ETFs. So those weren't made, without knowledge of this thing coming together. It looks very imminent. And if that happens in January, it's a possibility that we get a dip, but I continue on with my strategy, and that is to DCA. I don't try to time the market because oftentimes markets can run away from you if you're wrong. And many people have been wrong. And I've been wrong many, many times about which direction the market would go, or, and so I've learned my lesson to just DCA into things that I like. And that's what I've been doing. And hopefully you're doing your research and you're finding good coins, and you're, loading up as much as you can, as much as your risk tolerance allows, as much that is responsible, because we are on the precipice of a lot of, in my opinion, a perfect storm of events happening next year, with rate cuts on the horizon, with a U.S. election that should prop up the stock market. If you saw Joe Biden's recent commercial, it was all about the record stock market from last year, the stock market going back to record highs. NASDAQ just hit a record high. S&P is right behind it. And so you're going to get that money printer turned on, Bitcoin halving around the corner, ETF around the corner. The stars are really aligned. And so now is the time to start your positions, get your positions ready, and do your thing to set yourself up for future success. Danny, usually how bad is the slippage on the Phantom wallet swap? I didn't notice much slippage, to be honest, at all. I did some swapping into a meme coin yesterday or the day before, and I didn't notice bad slippage. So let's talk about OMI. We'll start with OMI, and then I'm going to get into the alts, talk about what I DCA'd into over the last week, and my two new picks, two new things that I bought. So David Yu was on Metamona's channel last night for a live stream interview, and I didn't watch the whole thing. I saw bits of the beginning, I saw the end, I saw clips, and I was filled in by people. But the one thing that everyone's talking about that he said, that I'm going to talk about, was when asked about exchanges for the OMI token, he said something to the effect of, we don't decide which exchanges take us. We submit applications, and one of the things that exchanges look at is community sentiment, and, alluding to the FUD. Now, everyone can do their part. And he said that they have their ways of like scanning for these things, and how everyone can do their part, etc. And my initial reaction to that was that it was probably, it'll probably go down as one of the worst things that he's said over the last couple of years. And if you've been following my content, You know that I try to be as objective as possible. I try to call it, we're all biased, right? First and foremost, everyone is biased. I want Omi to succeed. I want Vivi to succeed. I've met the team. I like them, but I try to be as objective as possible, and give my takes on things. And to me, that was such a tone deaf thing to say, and it was really it was kind of a head scratcher. The thing about leadership is you need to be ready at all times to communicate the vision to your community. And him being the head person, right? The guy in charge of this thing, it almost came across like victim blaming in a way, right? Like, all right, so look, the thing about FUD and FUDders, I think it's excessive at times. And I do think that there are people who take things too far, right? So I kind of discount those people. Those are the people that want the project to fail, right? They want Omi to fail, they want Vivi to fail, etc. Those guys I kind of discount. But then there are people who have been constructively critical and maybe upset. And they've been vocal about it. But the thing about it is they've had reasons to be upset, right? It's not like FUD isn't created out of thin air. And like, the stuff that we've seen over the last year or so, it's not like it came out of nowhere. It's the results of, words and actions not matching up and being promised certain things and then those things not being delivered on. And it's not even like it was a short time span, right? So, there's a grace period. If you miss something by 6 months, fine, a year, whatever. We're going on 3 years now since 2021, when it was like in May, they had said like 5 exchanges coming soon. And it never materialized for whatever reason. Then the year, just like I'm just going through time, the year progresses and we're migrating from GoChain to Immutable X. And that's happening. That was going to happen January 2022. And when that's done, exchanges. And then exchanges never came. And then the market tanked. And maybe I can understand the strategy changing then because it doesn't quite make sense to list, right? But then they pivoted to, well, we're waiting for utility to come out. And then we got our first bit of utility in August. The market's now heating up. And the closer, I've said it over and over again, the closer we get to the halving, the more anxiety and the more, if they don't get things done, sentiment will, they're going to take a hit. And the people are going to be very vocal and anxious. Here we are, the market's heating up. We're getting into now 2024, and people want exchanges. And now the latest thing that he says is, it's, we don't decide what exchanges we get on. Everyone knows that they look at community sentiment. And it's kind of like shifting blame in a way to your own community in a sense, right? People who have been, and I get it that there are different types of community members. There are your hardcore FUDders, and maybe that's who he was talking to. I don't know. Then you have your disgruntled people, right? People who love it, love the community, love the product, but are very disgruntled. Then you got like the people in the middle, kind of like me, I think, who I try to see like both. I see both sides and I still am optimistic. However, I can be critical, but I don't like kill them. Then you've got like, your Moon Boys, whatever, however you want to call them. But when you say something like that, you're kind of shifting blame to all those people who have just been frustrated. And so you're doing a couple things. You're diminishing their frustrations or being dismissive of them. You are lacking accountability for the FUD. Now, things don't go according to plan all the time. I feel like they grew too fast, too soon, and they promised all these things. I don't know whether or not they thought they could deliver them or not, but they promised all these things that didn't happen. They couldn't get it done. So at the very least, there needs to be acknowledgement and accountability on their part and work towards winning trust back, because there's been an erosion of trust. However, a comment like he made yesterday only serves to further erode trust, because, again, it's a lack of accountability and it's shifting the blame for exchanges to community members, many of which are upset and have a right to be upset because of, the way things have transpired in terms of deliverables. And then, I was going to get to this, Marcus. Let's not forget the DocuSign thing also, which was in the summer of last year. When he was asked about exchanges, he said, well, we had one lined up that was really big, alluding to, most people assume, FTX, but he forgot to sign the papers, and it's a good thing because that exchange went down. Which was another head-scratching thing, right? Because that for such a, a huge, like, I would never forget to sign a paper for Binance listing or for Coinbase, that's like a huge thing, right? Like, who would forget that? And as if you couldn't sign it like the next day or the next week. And he made it seem like it was like a fortunate event and we got saved because of it. Our bags got saved. So it was a head scratcher. And listen, I like David. I think he's great at certain things. I think that the team does certain things very well, like get those licenses and the partnerships. They're great at that stuff. They're great at linking up with Funko. The thing with the comic books, I thought that was dope. They do many things very well. However, there are many things that they've struggled with and they seem hapless about. And if you think back, like it was last year when Dan said we have a Christmas gift coming, and that Christmas gift was MCP, and everyone got really excited. And now here we are a full year later. It didn't come in last Christmas. It came in March. But that was supposed to be the Christmas gift last year. Here we are a full year later, heading into 2024, and still can't use your MCP points. So I've always said the vision is tremendous, and the product resonates with people. The IP is tremendous. The community is passionate, so passionate. And yet their inability to scale is one thing. The communication thing is totally different. There's no excuse for poor communication. You can make excuses for inability to scale, right? Like early on, just taking on too much tech debt, not having enough people, whatever it is, too ambitious, things go wrong. You can make excuses for not scaling at fast enough. There are no excuses for poor communication, specifically when it's a pattern of poor communication. And I said it a month and a half ago when they did what they came on the Comeyverse, where Dave came on the Comeyverse, and I asked him about OMI utility in the VeVeVerse, and he cited the regulatory thing, and he kind of like made it seem like it's not going to happen just yet. It's up in the air. And I thought that was really poorly communicated, because this is something that, as if I am Dan or Dave or team member, I can anticipate all of the questions the community wants answered. I know them all. And so I need to have those answers prepared, or I need to anticipate the backlash I'm going to get when I tell them certain things. And so you need to communicate that stuff in a way that does the least amount of damage. And on the OMI utility stuff, in terms of the land sales and integration into whatever, VeVeVerse, it was kind of dropped as an aside, right? It was dropped as an aside. It wasn't communicated clearly, and then it was like they just moved on. But now here we are, and it's the same thing. Like, they know if he's going on an interview, he absolutely knows that the exchange question is coming his way. And to say that it's on Fudders now, and don't be critical because they're watching and they know they're gonna, they're not gonna list us if they see people fudding, is totally tone deaf. And it was not the right thing to say. Now, that being said, I still got my OMI bag. I still love the vision. I still love the partnerships. I still think they do a lot right. I still love the community, and there's a lot going for it, and it could still do well. But man, if they get in their own way constantly, it seems, right? Even the mishap of sending out emails to people saying you're in the VeVeVerse, everyone, putting those emails on Twitter and being excited, and then saying, oh, there was a mistake, those emails shouldn't have gone out. It's like they can't get out of their own way. And, even those simple tasks and those simple things, they have a hard time nailing. And it's kind of like a repeated thing. So it's frustrating, and it just compounds the frustration. And ironically, it leads to more FUD. So he should, if I'm delivering that interview, I should know that if I say we're not going to get listed if they see the FUD comments, I can anticipate that people are going to FUD me more. You're inviting FUD. One, because it's a ridiculous thing to say. But two, FUDders have fun with that stuff. The people who are hardcore just are doing it for fun. You're just incentivizing them and inciting them more. And you have to, I know must be frustrating for him, I guess, to deal with it. And I think that's part of it, is that frustration of not liking to see it. But how you change it? It's by just executing and delivering and making things happen. That will take care of the FUD. You don't need to address it like that. So Vladimir says he loves this channel, but he has to watch it at 1.75 speed. Sorry, man. I'm trying to I don't want to poorly communicate, Vladimir. Trying to gather my words so that they're coherent. But that was my take on, that interview. And out of all that was said, that's what people are going to talk about. And you have to know that. From a leadership perspective, if you're a leader of a company, then you need to know your community. And you should know what's going to invite backlash, and you have to know how to communicate these things. You got to take accountability. Part of leadership is accountability, owning when things go wrong. There's a reason for the frustrations that people have. Let alone, all right, I've been in OMI since 2021. The frustration of bag holders is not limited to the OMI community. I'm in VRA, Veracity, and I'm seeing similar negative sentiment there from people who bought at the top, bag held on the way down, and are now frustrated that Veracity isn't moving as fast as the others. So it comes with the territory. There's FUD specifically with something that people held all the way down. This isn't unique to OMI. Look how many people fudded ADA, calling it a ghost chain. Look how many people are fudding Veracity. Look how many people FUD any project that has its difficulties. You need to put your head down, do the work, and execute, and then guess what? The FUD goes away because you improve the fundamentals of the project and you deliver for people. And that's, to me, that's how you do it, right? You deliver. So I thought that, yeah, not the best look for David. And again, kind of head scratching. One of the more head scratching things that he said. To me, there are a few head scratching things that David has said. And I love David. And look, and I think that David does a great job in his core role in terms of getting licenses and understanding, the business and having the foresight to create this business, right? But this isn't it, man. And he's this is one of the things that he said. The DocuSign is another thing. And then when he wanted to cool off the market, when he talked about cooling off the secondary market, that was another head scratching thing that he said. Every once in a while, he says these things that are kind of ridiculous. Kumo says, so is it common knowledge that exchanges pick coins? I had no idea. If so, kind of make me feel like a little dumb. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's not common knowledge that, look, exchanges, you pay to get your token listed. And I'm sure that there are other things that factor into it, volume, things like that. But, I don't think they're going to look to see, what Buck Nasty is saying, posting memes. DDS 316. Danny is the king of enunciation. Yeah. Slabs, I love the thoughtfulness, Danny. You don't throw the words around easily. We need more of this. And that's also, so sorry, Vladimir, for talking slowly, but I try to choose my words wisely in order to communicate effectively. And I took a nap like 2 hours ago also. It doesn't help. Let me jump into the comments a little. I'll talk a little more about OMI, but then I'm going to talk about alts. Been a huge OMI holder since day one. His comments made me sick to my stomach, as it pains me to say this. If you think he's telling the truth, then you are drinking the Kool-Aid. And this is the other thing. It makes him seem disingenuous, right? When you blame the community, it makes him seem and I don't know if he believes that or not, but it just further erodes the trust. And I can understand, so I was saying earlier, I've been here since 2021. There are people who have been in since 2017, the initial token sale. We're going on, it's going to be 2024. 7 years. We're almost a decade in, and there have been no exchanges. Now, is it because of the lawsuits that everyone's familiar with? And if so, say that. Because, everyone kind of already knows that these things are in the background and possibly weighing on things. Get that word out. People can handle the truth, and people are smarter than, you take them for. This is a very smart community. They pick up on everything. They're very in tune with things. And so you can't say things that are kind of half-baked or not grounded in real truth, because it just comes across like you're moving goalpost and there's another real reason. DDS, the horrendous communication is crushing sentiment. This is the first time I've thought of selling Naomi. You have to be doing something really wrong to shake the faith of Jordan Riz. And the thing is that as these things are compounded by a scaling market, by the rest of the market moving, gains being made, and now you continue to make mistakes, it just exasperates the frustration of the community and leads to more negative sentiment. Right. So ironically, him saying that, don't FUD, won't get on exchanges, that just creates more FUD. It's absolutely crazy. It was a wild thing to have said. And again, I'm still holding Naomi. I still love, the vision of the project. And I'm not selling. But I have to, call it like it is. And when they do something, when they knock it out the park, I am the first one to, celebrate it and have a live stream and talk about them doing things well. And when they don't do things well, I'm also going to call it out, because, I'm not letting my bags talk for me. I'm not just going to try to try to talk positively of my holdings because I hold them. Thought Foster's AMA on season 1 Omi's Taking News was really good. At least it was clear. He has talking points and stuck to them. Clear messaging always helps. Yeah, I didn't catch that, so I'll have to circle back to Foster's AMA. Shout out to Foster. Congratulations on hosting his first AMA on season 1 staking. So I will circle back. And Foster is a good communicator. He's a good talker. He's articulate. So Randy kept saying expiry is over and was happy David even said the word Omi. I don't buy that they can't talk about the token. I'm in all these other projects. Ron was talking to MCade, the MCade founder, Russ MCade, on Tuesday. They were talking openly about the token. Talked to Kari of Mask, the founder of Mask. I talked to him. Talk about the token. It's not a dirty thing. You're in crypto. You sold the token to people. Talk about the token. Thanks for calling. I already got this. Let me go down a few more. I'm worked up, guys. You guys got me worked up. Totally agree with head scratching. Such a strange narrative for the team to have come up with. And I don't know if that's just him, if he's got to plan these things out, I would think. And I don't know if he's trying to manipulate the FUD, get people, if in his head he thinks that people are going to FUD less because they want exchanges and not say anything negative. Bring back Ben. At least he was good at pumping bags. Yeah, that was funny. Cooling off the VV market had been said a couple of times. They don't want crazy marketplaces, even though it's what the community wants. So it's a market should be a free market, and there should not be an opportunity for someone to cool it down intentionally, right? Markets should be open and free, and that's my take. They probably freaked out in January 2022. Pump, they don't want any unwanted attention. AG in the house, what's good? Pixel, surprised to see some very large Omi buys recently. Yeah, I kind of saw that. Price, though, has been, I want to say the price has been flat. Let me take a look. My wallet here. Omi 710071. So green today, which is good. And listen, I know a couple people who have been buying Omi, and I know some people who have been selling. So ultimately I want them to succeed. Obviously, I'm incentivized to want them to succeed because I'll gain financially if they do well. But I want everyone else in the community to gain financially, people who have stuck through this thing and have put their faith in. So I hope they deliver. It was due to Rand saying exchanges were confirmed. Yeah, so I don't think exchanges are confirmed. Now, look, sentiment changes fast. Is it possible that in January, they have a big announcement at the there's that crypto France conference, and they have a big announcement there in terms of like a new IP. And is it possible they get new exchanges and sentiment's going to change like that? That short-term sentiment, and the token will go up, the price. So it's important to keep that in mind. But they have to change. They have to, one, recognize that they are communicating horrifically at times, and two, change it and do better, because you cannot continue to make the same mistakes over and over again. Everything they have done has seemingly been to get people out of OMI. For whatever reason, this has been a concerted team-wide effort. It's not a mistake when it happens continuously and nonstop. I don't think that I'm not like I don't think so. They're incentivized long-term to want OMI to do well. They'll make a ton of money. I do think that there are things behind the scenes that we don't know about, maybe involving those lawsuits. I think that they try to get cute with their words at times and frame narratives a certain way instead of just telling it like it is, and they go wrong. People don't want to say it, but VeVe is all in on its NFTs, not OMI, for the next 2 years. I do think part of their plan is to scale VeVe first and then OMI. Corey and Foster, if they leave, might be a sell signal. Yeah. I'm looking at the past week as this too shall pass. Yep, I think we'll be having a good laugh about it. Yeah, and we'll have a tequila, buddy. Yeah. And that's what Kumo says, speaks to what I just said about sentiment changing fast. And, they get a couple exchange listings. They, launch a new IP. Sentiment changes fast. Crypto is an irrational market. Things take off. Momentum happens. People start talking about it. People get happy that their bags are up. I do think that I've seen the VeVe prices start to rise in terms of the Grail pieces. I saw the Todd gets like $700 recently. I saw Superman starting to climb. All these things starting to climb a little. I do think that there will be arbitrage when crypto really explodes. I do think that some of the VeVe NFTs are going to do well. And, it's not all doom and gloom. We made up, Vladimir. VeVe app update available now. Dope. Ayo, what's good? Evolved in the house. DGen. This is a little meme coin, man, that we found in the Telegram last night that did like an 8x and then coughed it all back up. But let's see if it recovers. My takings were that David was trying to nearly ask for less FUD to make the token. But you can't do that. You can't ask for less FUD. You just have to deliver, is my thing. Now I'm going to a couple more of these, and then I'm going to get into altcoins that I DCA'd into this week and the 2 new coins that I bought. I think I have some management books left. After sending out the VeVeverse invites and then having to revoke them shows such an issue with comms. Yeah. Yes, I agree. They need a refreshed map of the token. It's kind of like we don't know what's going to happen again in terms of the token. And everything is, it seems like things have been changed again in terms of utility, but they haven't told us. There is no concrete roadmap. I don't know what Justin is talking about. Be funny. Glad VeVe notified me to update. App looks the same. All right, so let's talk about some altcoins and the market. So my strategy has been to DCA in specifically on nice pullbacks. And over the last week, things have been, a lot of the coins that I'm in have consolidated, or on some days, gone down a good 10% or so. And I've been taking advantage of that. And this week, I made some purchases. I DCA'd more into Medicaid, Hello, Mask, Playable Games. I think those are the four of the bags that I have. And I'm really excited for all of those. Ron talked to Russ MCade on Tuesday. If you're interested in MCade, I would give it a look. Give that interview a watch. And, MCade has 55 partnerships now. They have tournaments that are going to launch, I think, in January. It's a play to earn game. It's what I like about MCade, and I've said it before, but I'll say it again for people who are just, didn't pick up on it before. Still a sub $20 million market cap. Maybe that changed recently, but the tokenomics of it are more favorable than a lot of the other gaming projects that rely on nodes and that are heavily inflationary and have very little of their token in supply. MCade has, I think, nearly all of their tokens in circulating supply. And not only that, it's set to be deflationary. So I think they burnt their 2 billion tokens fully diluted. I think it's like 80% or 90% there. But they just burnt 21 million tokens. There's going to be more burnings. So when I look at MCade versus other gaming tokens in terms of market cap, it's favorable. In terms of future market cap and the market cap swelling because of more coins entering circulation for all those other tokens, people getting diluted, MCade is also favorable. So I like it for those two reasons. 55 partnerships. They just partnered with Neo Tokyo, which is a very positive thing. So it's one that I've been DCAing in. I think the only gaming token that I have more tokens, more money in is Games for a Living. But MCade is neck and neck there. So I took the opportunity to buy more at the 1-2 level earlier in the week. It's gone up a bit, about 10 cents since. I haven't played MCade games, but I did get a monthly pass. I think I won on Ron's stream, so I have to get in there. And I want to check it out myself and, see how it is, see what the games are like. But, they've got their games. They're looking to become a hub of gamers and community and developers. And so it's just the type of project that I like an ecosystem play. And I love the market cap. And seems to have a good team on there. Marcus says, love the MCade interview with Ron. Do you think subscription model and no nodes? You know what? I don't know. I don't think so. So I think like the node thing for Myria being so similar to Gala helps Myria because I feel like people naturally will see it as getting inevitable to get to like a $4 billion market cap. And because it has like the same model, right? So, but will it hurt them that it's not that? I don't think so. We'll see. There is a subscription model. I do like that they made they have like a tourist level where you don't have to pay. So we'll see how it goes. On the one hand, the subscription model is generating real revenue for them, which could be seen as a positive. But on the flip side, we'll see. It's different. Time's going to tell. I think that that Neo Tokyo partnership and possibly getting exposure through someone like Alex Becker will be favorable for them. So I'm really liking the fact that they got in, partnered with Neo Tokyo. I've reached my limit without and the token until I see some action looking into other projects. Yeah. And it has been kind of stagnant and not it hasn't mooned like some of the others, which is fine for me because I'm not buying it on a short-term thing. I'm here for the bull run. And one of the things that Ron said was that when it came out at a $30 million market cap. And so, people look to buy things at, $1 million, $2 million, $4 million market caps. And so it's gotten off to a slow start, but I do think it's going to do well. And it's one that I'm holding and one that I bought. Hello. I talked about that one last week. I like Hello. I love the narrative. I think it's very unique in that it's an entertainment play. I think that it's ready to, you see it like higher lows, right? Lower highs, higher highs, higher lows. It looks like it's ready to go off again. And that might be coming around the corner in January, February. Their show is coming out. And that Altcoin Daily, Wendy O, the people associated with the show are going to be talking about it. So it's going to have so much attention. And I love the narrative of it. Love the attention it's going to get built into it. Mario Nawfal, however you pronounce his last name, is on the show. Anthony Scaramucci's on the show. So many big names. And that they're going to talk about it. So they're going to be eyes on this. To my knowledge, it's the only one in this entertainment fi sector. And they also have a gaming hub, Hello Arcade. So it hits the gaming narrative. It hits this entertainment narrative. If the show does well, this can easily go to, $1 billion market cap, and I see it getting up there. If the show gets canceled after 2 episodes, that might be bad, right? But we're going to find out. It's a Shark Tank-like show, but I love this one. Just seems to make sense to me, and it will have attention baked into it. And this crypto sector is all about attention, narrative, and story. And this one has a really good story. So, yeah, crazy amount of big names. And you just know that Altcoin Daily is waiting until the show is ready to lift off for them to start talking about it and pushing it. And we'll see. So I don't hold IMX. I do like it. Most of my bags, though, are smaller in terms of the only big caps I have are Solana. And that's my biggest holding. My Sol bag swelled to 33% of my portfolio. It's crazy. It was, I have to go back and look. It might have been 8 to 10% of my portfolio, but it's done a 12x. And I had a nice bag of it. So Solana is my main big cap. Have some ADA. Still have a little Bitcoin and Ethereum, but I've mostly scaled out into the smaller coins because my perspective is risk on. If the space plays out, if the cycle plays out like we're expecting, and Solana, ADA do really well, hit new all-time highs, the smaller projects with good fundamentals are going to do many, many multiples more than them, right? If ADA does a 6x or an 8x, some of these other coins are going to do 20, 50x's. And so I'm scaling out of my ADA as well as it goes up, just to get into, because I bought a lot at 25 cents to 35 cents. And I'm here for the big gains. ADA's safer. But I'm here for the big gains and trying to identify projects with strong leadership, good narratives that can give me, you know, 10x's minimum, 20x's, etc. Any sub $1 million coins, I'm not right now. You'll make up for those OMI losses by getting into good projects. My portfolio has more than doubled, even holding OMI, in the last couple months. So you'll make up for those OMI losses if you just invest in good projects. You don't, I don't know of, I'm not in any sub $1 million. Crypto Rain actually does that. He hunts those. It's not my style. I mean, if I find one, I'll buy it. Something that I really like that has sub $1 million market cap. But now it's getting a little harder and harder to find them. Thoughts on Vision Pro's impact on Web3 gaming? I think it'll be a good narrative. I think it'll be part of that narrative for Web3 gaming. Long-term fundamentals, any step forward for the whole space is going to be big, and Vision Pro is going to play a big role in that. But for that narrative alone, this cycle, I think it's going to play into that. Long term, yeah, I think it's part, everything's going to be fused together. I think that Apple Vision Pro, eventually crypto gaming is going to be integrated into these things as we get clearer regulation long term. I think it's all this is the future, right? And this is where things are going. Not necessarily even play to earn, right? Because a lot of gamers don't like that play to earn thing, because you should play because you want to play a good game. And it's hard to really find a balance in a play to earn formula. It's kind of like a hot thing right now. But even, simple things like just owning your skins through NFT technology, etc. But I think Vision Pro is going to have a huge impact on gaming and Web3 gaming. Crypto has been an exclusive club for tech people. Projects like Hello Do Well might have an on-ramp. Yeah, exactly. Which is why it really makes sense to me. Hello really makes sense to me. It's one of those coins that when I saw it, I knew, like I just saw it. It just connected. And another one that I really liked, well, before I get to that, Marcus's comment, Hello looks great. Heard February 8th. Yeah, first episode. Let's hope we are invested in some of the projects on there as they will pump. And that's the other thing with Hello is, if you get into some of that might speak to Dino's point about those sub $1 million cap coins. The projects that are on the Hello show are going to get massive exposure, and some of them might do really well. Some of those might be micro caps, and we know of a couple of them. They've talked about them in Ron's Telegram group. So, yeah, it's just another aspect of Hello that's interesting, an interesting way to play it. So, Mask is another one, and this is another one that I DCA'd into this week. I have quite a bit of Mask. And I've talked about it a lot on this channel. I really like the founder. I've talked to him. It's had a nice dip. And so that's why I bought more, because I don't know that it's going to be at this market cap forever. It's at a $15 million market cap right now. I started buying it at 6. It went up to about 21 million, I want to say, when it was 72 cents. It retraced quite a bit. I think it'll find some support and then go back up. But this is pretty much fully diluted. This is 92% in circulation. It's not going to get diluted. Working product, Web3 browser. privacy. It's like a whole ecosystem, right? VPN, etc. There's already token utility. I know people who are using the browser. They've downloaded it. They're using it. You can run a node or whatever on there. And so Mask makes sense from a fundamentals perspective. And the thing about Mask is, there's another project called Ator that's another privacy play that was recently in this bear market. It's not a bear market anymore. Early bull market hit $150 million market cap. Mask could, from here, 8x to get just to where that was. And I think it's a better project. So it would still be small. It would still only have $150 million market cap, right? And I think it would be in line with a comparable Ator. Ator has since plummeted because their tech, there were issues there. But this is one that I think it could do really well. Even if it doesn't 100x, even if it gets like a $400 million market cap, that's still a good 30x from here. And that's only a $400 million market cap. Because the thing is, not everything's going to $1 billion. And that's something that we have to keep in mind. Not everything's going to $1 billion. Could this? Of course it could. But not everything's going to. And so it doesn't have to. They can still do really well and give crazy returns sub 1 billion. I was in Seoul in September 2021 pump. So many scams and network fails, but the market says the potential is still there. And that's the thing. The market likes it. Big money likes it. Seoul is kind of like a darling of VCs. It's got a strong community, NFT community. It's fast. It's had its issues, but Solana is still here. And the thing about crypto is narratives matter, community matters. And, if you hit those things, you're going to do well. There you go, Dino, RPG. NFT hodler made up with, and yeah, Epico did a crazy run up. Let me shout out to the Epico team. That's Venkatesh and company. And Epico had a ridiculous run up. Like straight line up. So congrats to NFT holder. This is Epico Regal. That's Venkatesh, one of the early advisors, I guess, to the OMI team, created Epico Regal, and you can use OMI inside that game. And this had a ridiculous run up. Revolve Games, they have slowed down a bit. Nice. Yeah, Hello has meme potential for sure. Other one that I bought this week was Playable Games, I said. And this one's also just kind of like, it's consolidating. This did like a 50x. Ron talked about it on my channel. If you want to join Ron's, shout out to Ron. I'm an advisor on his Telegram. He's got a private Telegram right now that is, say, it's $250 to join, except there's a holiday special, $175. I think it runs through the end of the year. For access to his private Telegram through the end of next year. So it's good over 12 months of alpha, and there's a lot of alpha in there. Ron put me onto this. I didn't buy it at $1 billion, but I've bought quite a bit and since. And Playable Games is another one that has strong branding, a good game on their Nexus that attracted a good amount of users, and it's been consolidating because things don't go straight up, right? Things shoot up, cool off, go sideways, gain momentum for their next run up. And I think Playable Games is going to have more runs in it. And so I'm taking advantage of the consolidation of the pullbacks on those days when we get the 10%, 15% pullbacks. I'm a buyer and I'm accumulating because it's easy to have hindsight. Everyone has 2020 hindsight, right? It's easy to say, I should have bought more. Everyone always says, I should have bought more. The hard part is buying more before the pump, before it goes up. And so you have to see it. You have to think about, where is this going? And so do I know if all of these are going to do well? I don't. But if a few of them do well, I'm going to do very well. And so I'm trying to accumulate what I can while prices are still relatively low. And I want to say Playable Games market cap is at around $52 million. Not too bad. And I think it can do well. So I bought that this week. And then my two new things that I got into made sense to me. The first one, we were in Ron's Telegram, and VV Viral is in there. Brought up TET, which is this. Not this. Whoops. Hold on. Let me find it. That's not it. Oh, here it is. Tectum. The fastest blockchain for all industries. This is apparently the fastest blockchain. Does over 1 million transactions per second. So it's got a few things going for it that I like. One, I love the narrative of the fastest blockchain. I like layer ones, I think, are going to do well again. And what I like about layer ones and infrastructure plays is that they get to really big market caps, right? They have the potential to get to $10 billion, $20 billion market caps, way higher. So I always like having a bag of layer ones. The thing is, now as more and more layer ones are emerging, as you got AVAX, you've got Solana, you've got Ethereum, you've got ADA, Cardano. It's a cluttered field. But I still think that that's a narrative that's going to do well. And specifically, I like a couple narratives going for Tectum. One is that it's the fastest blockchain. They're billing themselves as the fastest blockchain in the world, exceeding over 1 million transactions per second. And this is they don't list Solana on here, which is interesting. But, they show you what these other chains do. Phantom, 300,000. EcoBall, which I've never heard of, 100,000. Avalanche, 4,500. Tron, Ripple, IOTA, Cardano, Litecoin, Ethereum, all the way down. Bitcoin, all the way down here. 7. You got to pick up the pace, Bitcoin. Ethereum, 25, right? We know how slow those are. So I like this narrative. But what I also like for it is that it's a scaling solution for Bitcoin. And let me see. So this is also a scaling solution for Bitcoin, which I think that, and for other chains that are slower, which I think is something that's going to strike a chord, in particular in this upcoming bull run with the Bitcoin ETF, and Bitcoin kind of being front and center in terms of adoption and people talking about the need for scalability when you talk about it penetrating the financial system. And so it makes sense that products like Tectum that are used to scale it will have a strong use case. They also have this thing called soft nodes, which are high-speed transaction payment systems that are like feeless, etc. So they have a few things going for them. They're innovative. They have a strong team who has some history in launching products and projects. And so it made sense to me. And it has, I want to say, a $50 million market cap. Tectum, about $10 right now. $51 million market cap. I think more than half is in supply. It had a good run up about, well, it's down in the last 30 days. It's pulled back, but it did a nice run up. It's pulled back and now it's consolidating. I think this is at a good price right here, $10. You see is kind of strong support for it. So I think it'll consolidate a bit here. I think it's at a good price. I bought some the other day. I bought more today. And I have quite a bit of it now. I like I like a couple of its narratives. Then the other one was one that I was looking at the same time as Tectum. When I bought TET, I was looking at this one. It's called Mintlayer. And similarly, it's for scaling Bitcoin, right? A future-proof blockchain that improves direct token interoperability and enables ways to trade value, create systems functionality. So it's another scaling solution for Bitcoin. What I like about this one also is that it's also a tokenization ecosystem. So it's a real-world asset play. And I think that real-world assets, tokenization of everything is going to be it's narrative that's going to be hot. It's why I like Rio. I bought Rio when it was from 11 cents to about, I want to say 20 cents. I bought a bunch of Rio. It's now at 66 cents. And I bought Rio because of that real world asset narrative. I wanted exposure to that sector because I'm pretty heavy in gaming. I have a bunch of gaming plays, and I just want exposure to these other sectors. And so real world assets, I bought Rio, and I added Mintlayer after I was talking to a friend who reached out to ask me about TET. And then he said he was looking at TET and he bought Mintlayer. And I said, I was also looking at Mintlayer. Let me go back and revisit it. And what sold me on it was the tokenization aspect of it, in addition to the Bitcoin scaling. So it's got those two narratives, with the blockchain, layer one. And Mintlayer is cheaper than TET. So I want to say it's at a $25 million market cap, which is still kind of small. Let me look it up. ML is the ticker, and I don't see it coming up. It's not coming up here. Is this it? No, that's not it. It's ML, Mintlayer. I swapped it in MetaMask, but $25 million market cap. Those were my two buys this week. And again, I've got a bunch of gaming stuff. I've got Mask for my privacy play. Hello is kind of like the entertainment finance thing. I've got my layer ones now. I've got Taraxa, which is another layer one that's it's a Ghost Stag. That one, Ghost Stag is technology. It's kind of like is what Caspa is. And so I'm just trying to position myself in different niches. I have a couple launch pads and some things in the Sol ecosystem. And I just want to be able to catch different narratives. Yeah, Epico did a 20x in 30 days. So shout out to anyone who was in it. And that's the thing with those really, really small caps is you have the opportunity to get those big gains, but they're also more risky, right? And so it's hard to tell which ones the winners are. And for me, I need to have conviction in what I'm buying. I'll dabble a little in those very small micro caps, those sub $1 million ones. I'll dabble, but my real investments are in things that I can understand, that I have conviction in, that check off multiple boxes. How do I diversify? So for me, my My portfolio is all over the place right now because of everything kind of running. What's good, Adam? He's late to the party. We still here. So, I don't have a portion of my portfolio in like, small caps. I'll tell you right now, maybe one day I'll go through everything in my portfolio. It's kind of out of balance because certain things ran. Solana ran. Um, but I want to say 20 tokens that I have like what I consider to be good positions in. Um, and that are what I consider my long holds. And by long, I mean a year to 2 years, 2024 to 2025. Not looking to hold anything past that. So I want to say about 20. And then I've got 10 or so that I would consider smaller cap. Those are, definitely they started off as sub 10 million, less money in there. And then I'll like something like Slims. I talked about Solanium in a stream. I don't know, 3 weeks ago, maybe. And I bought this because it was in the Sol ecosystem and it's a launch pad. And it had it had like a $12 million market cap. It's done a good like 3 to 3x for me. Has gone up to 50 cents, really pumped. So I didn't have a lot in this, but now it's kind of like become one of my bags because it's pumped. But something like this that I don't even have a lot of information on this. You know what I mean? I just kind of bought it because, again, Sol ecosystem, launchpad, small market cap. I'll throw some money at it for my Sol bag, and it did a 3 or 4x. I'll look to scale out of this, take this money, and put it into something small. But first, I need to do more research on it. Marcus says, every time you say you have bought another bag, I know that's the rough part, right? I get FOMO too. There's so many good things out there, and I don't buy everything. And here, BJN asked, did I get a chance to research Helium and Demo? I didn't look at Helium. I've looked at Helium before. Yeah. And I knew Helium is running. That's on Sol. And there are a lot of things in Solana. I did look at Demo and it looked interesting. But the thing is, the reason I didn't buy it, is this it? Or, yeah, wow. Is this? Nice run up. Yeah, you mentioned this in the last stream. It's another gaming play, right? $71 million market cap. The reason I didn't buy it is because I have so many gaming coins and I can't buy them all. So I've got like 8 to 10 gaming coins, and I get FOMO sometimes, like Marcus said. But what I do is I don't buy everything, right? And I can't, and I'm okay with that. And I understand that people are going to, I get people tell me about coins. I hear about so many coins every single day in the Telegram, on Twitter, from friends, chats, whatever. And there's so many that look good, and I miss a bunch of them. But I'm okay with that because you can't catch them all. And it's I wrote down a list of rules for myself to keep myself in check. One of them is can't catch them all. I'm fine with not catching them all. I just need to build out good positions in things that I like, that I think will do well. And if those do well, I'll do well. Now, sometimes, Marcus, I'll see something that makes sense to me and I'll jump on it, right? And that's what I kind of did this week with Tectum. It made sense to me, and Mint Layer. It made sense to me in terms of the construction of my portfolio. and getting into a different sector. And I just took profits from my ADA bag. And yeah, ADA's got a good 5X in it, 6X. Sorry while I adjust my Santa hat. ADA has got a good, maybe even an 8X in it. But I think that some of these will have 20 to 50 X's in them. And so I came to play. I came to win. Yeah, what are you saying, oh no, about selling some ADA? Yeah, and I'm trying to maximize my gains. But yeah, in terms of diversification, I've got my big Solana, I got my blue chips, ADA, still have some ADA left. And I have my gaming, I have my basket of gaming coins, which probably make up like, I want to say 30% of my portfolio. And I think about, I have not much AI. And there's a reason for that. I think AI is going to do well. I have Veracity, which is kind of like AI-ish. It's got AI integration and it's categorized. If you look up, like when you look in the category of AI, Veracity comes up. But the reason why I don't have a lot of AI is because it's hard to understand it. Like most AI coins, I don't think really need a token, right? But it's just hard to understand it. So I'd rather focus on the gaming sector, which is very easy to understand, and I think is going to do really well. And so if I'm focusing on one sector, it's gaming. And I'll sprinkle in some AI. So I bought Palm AI, and that did a good 2 to 3X. That was a sub $10 million market cap. If you look on chart, though, they did a token conversion, so don't look at the chart. I got to see. There is, let me see this. Yeah, this is fake news on Palm. There's a token migration for Palm. And so they moved to a different address, token address. I have to migrate my Palm. So I don't even know what the price is right now because of this chart is screwy. But then, my meme coins, I don't throw a lot into meme coins. Oh, look at cock is insert cock joke here. Doing well. I have this, and I bought it not early enough, but early enough, if that makes sense. I want to say I got it at like a $40 million market cap or so. So I'm good at least 5X on there at least. I don't know. Yeah. I'm doing well on this. And I think it's going to $1 billion market cap. It's at a $200 million market cap right now. I think everyone has eyes on $1 billion. I think it'll get there. First meme coin on AVAX. AVAX is a hot chain, just listed on KuCoin, increasing volume. I think it surpassed Pepe's daily volume. Pepe's trading at $600 million market cap. Binance seems inevitable. Maybe Coinbase. We know that when Binance and Coinbase listed Bonk, it went to $2 billion. So I see this meme coin also getting to $1 billion. We will see. And I found out about this first through my Ron's Telegram group. So I'm going to give it another plug. If you're interested in micro caps and getting ideas for tokens, I'd recommend it. It's $175. I'm an advisor in there and I help out. But for a year, you'll be in that chat and get alpha. And Vivi Viral mentioned TET in there, and there are small cap reports. I went to the small cap report and read a one-pager on TET. Made sense to me. I bought it. It's a great source for research. CryptoSys. Yeah, I think Bull has the potential. I think that the strong, the winners in the gaming sector are going to hit, the $1 billion valuations. I think that playable games can get there. Now we'll see what happens. I don't know if there's so many. It's going to be a crowded space, and there are going to be more and more gaming tokens that come out. How many of them get to, above $1 billion market caps? We'll see. But that's definitely a possibility. And I like playable games. So I'm making, if you saw my last video, let me pull it up. So I've been making these. I'm making these for all my tokens, all my bags. It's kind of like, how much money would something be worth? How much money would a bag of Mask be at, $500 million market cap? And I go through different holdings. I'm going to do this for playable games for next week, one of my live streams. So catch it there, and I'll talk about price possibilities, because what I'm doing with this is taking into consideration dilution and more coins entering circulation. So I did it last week for Mask, Games for a Living, and MCADE. And next week, I'm going to do it for playable games, maybe Veracity and Hello. And I'll keep doing it throughout. But I do like playable games. I think it has potential to do really well. AI had a massive run not too long ago. Yeah. And AI is going to be one of those sectors and one of those narratives that hits and continues to do well. I got my 5. If it rides, it rides. Nice. What are your 5, Adam? Let me know. But in terms of, again, my diversification, so I got my basket of gaming tokens, and then I try to just get exposure to other sectors and narratives, privacy, layer ones, the Bitcoin narrative, right? Scaling RWAs, right? Real world assets, things like that. Well, I've been on for an hour and a half here, and I think I'm going to call it a day. I will be on next week quite a bit. I'm planning to make a bunch of content. I plan to get back to short form videos because I've been doing mostly live streams. So I'm going to do short form videos on a bunch of tokens, probably playable games, CryptoSys. I'll probably do a playable games video, MCADE, a bunch of these things. And also got some live streams planned. Going to get maybe Hodler on here, Ron, maybe do another VV No Bull episode roundtable thing. A lot going on. As always, I want to thank you all for coming through. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas to those who celebrate. And I will catch you all in the next one. Peace out, Slavs. Yeah, I'm not in bump, but maybe one day. Peace.